Why most dreams die quietly, and how to make yours impossible to kill. There is a silence that surrounds most dreams, not the quiet of peace, but the silence of neglect, the quiet of unspoken ambition, of ideas whispered in fear, of potential buried beneath hesitation and doubt. Most dreams die quietly, not in explosions of failure, not in dramatic collapse, but in whispers, in the subtle erosion of time, energy, and attention. They fade because we allow them to fade. They vanish because no one, least of all ourselves, defends them with ferocity. Consider the greatest minds who ever lived. Edison, who faced thousands of failures and ridicule before lighting the world. Carnegie, who clawed his way from poverty to influence by refusing to accept mediocrity. Disney, who risked everything, endured rejection after rejection, and built worlds that millions call home today. They understood a truth that escapes the average mind. A dream is not a wish, it is a contract with yourself. And if that contract is weak, if it is ignored, if it is treated casually, the world will quietly erase it. The first step to making a dream impossible to kill is to see it with crystal clarity. Vague dreams die the quickest. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to be happy. These are whispers, not commands. They float on the winds of distraction, bending with every opinion, every fear, every minor inconvenience. But when a dream is defined, when every detail is clear, when your mind can feel, taste, and visualize it every day, it becomes anchored. It exists not only in imagination, but in reality. The more precise your dream, the harder it is for life, for circumstance, or for fear to kill it. Belief is the second layer of defense. A dream without belief is a candle in the wind. Weak minds argue with reality, flinch at obstacles, and surrender to delay. Strong minds defend their vision like a fortress. Lincoln did not stumble in the face of national collapse because he doubted his ability to lead. He persisted because he believed in the righteousness of his purpose. Edison did not give up after thousands of failed experiments because he believed in the inevitability of his success. Your dream must have the same immunity. You must guard it with the steel of conviction. You must feed it with unwavering belief. Discipline is the crucible that transforms potential into invincibility. Desire alone is not enough. Hope alone cannot survive the weight of reality. Dreams die quietly when ambition is sporadic, when effort is inconsistent, when action is postponed indefinitely. Discipline turns dreams into a rhythm, into habit, into inevitability. The man who works while the world sleeps, who hones his skills when others watch Netflix, who writes, plans, experiments, sacrifices, is the man whose dream grows so strong that the universe itself is compelled to bow to it. Obstacles are inevitable. Delays are guaranteed. Pain is unavoidable. But here is the hidden truth. Obstacles are the fire that hardens your dream. The resistance you encounter is not a warning. It is the refining process. Carnegie faced poverty, rejection, and exploitation. Edison faced scorn and ridicule. Disney faced bankruptcy, and his ideas were called impossible. Lincoln faced defeat after defeat, personal tragedy after personal tragedy. Yet all of them understood that resilience is a shield. The dream that survives the first defeat, and the 10th, and the 100th becomes immortal. Gratitude is the fuel for endurance. The path to a dream is lonely. It is filled with early mornings, late nights, and the constant echo of doubt from everyone who cannot see your vision. Gratitude transforms this path from burden to fuel. Gratitude keeps the mind anchored. Gratitude ensures that every step, even the painful, exhausting ones, are seen as progress. Every failure is a lesson. Every obstacle is a teacher. Every sacrifice is a building block for the empire your dream demands you construct. Your mind must become the home of your dream. Thoughts are the architects. Every fear left unchecked, every doubt entertained, every distraction indulged, weakens the walls. Strong minds guard their mental space. They feed it with affirmation, vision, knowledge, and persistence. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But it cannot achieve what it doubts, neglects, or abandons in quiet moments of surrender." Action is the heartbeat of a dream. Dreams that die quietly die in the pause between thought and execution. The dream that survives, the dream that becomes impossible to kill, moves forward even when the world does not cheer. Every small, deliberate action, every consistent effort, every tiny victory becomes the armor that protects the vision from fading. The fire of action turns a fragile idea into a living, breathing reality. Purpose is the engine that drives obsession, the gravity that keeps your dream from drifting away. Without purpose, even the clearest dream becomes fragile. It wavers in the face of discomfort, dissolves when obstacles appear, and dies quietly under the weight of ordinary life. But when your purpose is anchored in why, every hardship becomes meaningful. Every long night, every early morning, every sacrifice gains weight, value, and urgency. Purpose converts pain into momentum. Lincoln fought a nation on the brink of collapse, not for glory, but because he understood that some causes are bigger than fear, bigger than doubt, bigger than personal comfort. Your dream, too, must become bigger than excuses. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is loyalty to your own potential. Every great achiever, the Edisons, the Carnegies, the Disneys, the Lincolns, practiced discipline not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Discipline is the structure your dream demands. It is the framework on which vision, belief, and action stand tall. Without discipline, desire drifts. Without discipline, belief fades under pressure. Without discipline, even the most magnificent dreams die quietly in the shadows of inconsistency. Adaptability is the lifeline for any dream that aims to survive the storm of reality. The world is unpredictable, unforgiving, and relentless. Obstacles will appear that you cannot anticipate. Plans will crumble. People will disappoint. Markets will shift. And yet, the dream that refuses to die is flexible without losing focus. Edison altered thousands of filament designs before discovering the right one. Disney reimagined entire storylines and productions when audiences rejected the first versions. Lincoln shifted military strategies while holding fast to principles. Adaptability ensures the fire inside does not extinguish when the winds howl. It ensures your vision remains alive, even when the path bends in ways you cannot foresee. Resilience is the crown jewel of the dream that cannot be killed. Every failure, every insult, every setback becomes a hammer, forging mental toughness. Carnegie's early failures taught him how to navigate the ruthless world of business. Edison's repeated laboratory failures were the sparks that ignited innovation. Disney's rejections built patience and vision. Lincoln's defeats forged the leader capable of guiding a nation through war. Resilience is not born, it is cultivated. It is hammered into the soul by persistent effort, unwavering focus, and an unflinching refusal to surrender. Your dream dies quietly only when you give up. Resilience ensures you refuse. Mastery is the shield that protects your dream from quiet death. A dream that is half-baked invites mediocrity. The world has no respect for vague ambition. It honors skill, excellence, and preparation. Ford perfected the assembly line not because he wished it would work, but because he studied, tested, and mastered the process until innovation became inevitable. Disney perfected animation, storytelling, and branding until his creations were immortal. Mastery transforms raw desire into unstoppable force. It ensures that every step you take moves you closer to your dream, and no obstacle, no critic, no failure, no delay can slow you down. Momentum is the unstoppable force that turns effort into inevitability. Once you combine purpose, discipline, adaptability, resilience, and mastery, your dream no longer belongs to chance. It belongs to you. Action compounds. Effort multiplies. Every success, no matter how small, propels the next step. Even failure feeds the engine. The dream that once could have been ignored, that once could have died quietly, now becomes a juggernaut. The universe cannot resist it. Circumstance bends before it. People notice it. Opportunities appear. Recognition is forced. Destiny is no longer a possibility. It is an outcome. A dream impossible to kill becomes a part of your identity. You think like it. You breathe like it. You live like it. When the world pressures you to quit, you do not hesitate. You do not negotiate. You do not rationalize. You act. You endure. You continue. Obsession has become your nature. Momentum has become your body. Resilience has become your mind. And now, the dream exists outside of mere thought. It exists as unstoppable reality. This is the covenant of achievement. Clarity transforms vision into obsession. Belief transforms obsession into endurance. Discipline channels effort into progress. Adaptability allows survival through chaos. Resilience turns setbacks into fuel. Mastery ensures excellence. And momentum transforms persistence into inevitability. Every dream that dies quietly lacked one, or all, of these forces. Every dream that thrives, Every dream that becomes impossible to kill commands them. So, feed your vision daily. Protect it fiercely. Obsess over it relentlessly. Cultivate clarity in your mind. Fortify belief in your heart. Structure your life around discipline. Adapt when storms arise. Build resilience through persistence. Pursue mastery in every step. And as momentum grows, nothing will be able to silence the fire you have ignited. Because dreams are not fragile. Dreams are not idle. Dreams are alive, and when treated as life itself, they become impossible to kill. The moment you stop treating your dream as optional, pause. The moment you stop negotiating with fear, doubt, and distraction, pause. That is the moment your dream becomes impossible to kill. The world will try to whisper you back into mediocrity. Friends will doubt. Circumstance will mock. Opportunity will hesitate. Long pause, and yet, when your clarity is unshakable, your belief unwavering, your discipline relentless. Pause. Nothing the world throws at you can shake the foundation you have built. Dreams are quiet killers when neglected. Pause. But they are immortal when protected with obsession. Every setback, every failure, every lonely night spent working when others rest. Pause is another brick in the fortress surrounding your vision. Edison's lab burned with failures, but that fire was never his enemy. It was his ally. Disney's early projects were rejected, but rejection sharpened his imagination. Lincoln faced despair that would have crushed any ordinary soul, but he chose resilience, turning the nation's survival into his mission. You too must understand, the quiet death of dreams happens when effort wavers, when courage falters, when the mind allows compromise. Long pause. Make your dream impossible to kill by refusing all of these quietly eroding forces. Obsession is not chaos. It is method. Pause. It is a disciplined, precise, all-consuming allegiance to a vision only you can see. Without obsession, greatness fades into ordinary. Without obsession, wealth, mastery, influence, and impact become fleeting illusions. But with it, pause. With it, a single human being can bend reality. A single person can turn scarcity into abundance, ignorance into wisdom, inaction into unstoppable momentum. Carnegie didn't wait for wealth to come to him. Edison didn't wait for invention to favor him. Disney didn't wait for the world to understand him. They moved, acted, refined, endured, and created what was once considered impossible. The fire of your dream cannot be extinguished unless you allow it. Pause. You cannot outsource belief. You cannot borrow discipline. You cannot purchase clarity. These are internal weapons, forged in the furnace of relentless action. Momentum grows when each choice, each decision, each effort aligns with the singular purpose of bringing your dream into existence. Your dream does not negotiate with weakness. It thrives on strength, commitment, and obsession. Long pause. Imagine the life that would await if your dream could never be stopped. Imagine the doors that would open, the minds you would inspire, the wealth, the mastery, the legacy that would follow. Pause. That life is possible. That life is yours. The only question is, will you guard your dream with ferocity? Will you feed it daily, relentlessly, without compromise? Will you refuse to allow quiet death, to refuse mediocrity, to refuse hesitation? Pause. The world cannot give it to you. Luck cannot create it. Only your obsession, your discipline, your unyielding resolve can make your dream impossible to kill. This is the covenant of those who rise above ordinary. Clarity becomes obsession, obsession becomes action, action becomes mastery, mastery becomes momentum, and momentum becomes destiny. Every great figure in history, every innovator, every leader, every titan understood this principle intuitively. They understood that the quiet death of dreams is the default, that without vigilance, ambition fades, that greatness requires a fight, and that fight begins within. Long pause. Your dream lives or dies by your choices. Every moment you act, every moment you persist, every moment you refuse compromise, you breathe life into what the world says is impossible. Every moment you waver, every moment you postpone, every moment you yield to distraction, you allow your dream to fade quietly, slipping like sand through the fingers of time. Pause. The battle is internal first. It is a war of mind, heart, and soul. Win the inner war, and the world has no choice but to follow. Feed the fire. Guard it. Obsess over it. Protect it. Refine it. Pursue it with unwavering attention. Let the power of relentless belief, disciplined action, adaptable strategy, resilient endurance, and unshakable clarity make your dream untouchable. Let the quiet whispers of doubt be drowned out by the roar of your determination. Let the universe witness the inevitable outcome of a mind and heart committed to greatness. Long pause. The moment you fully embrace this truth, your dream no longer belongs to possibility. It belongs to reality. Your vision, once fragile and quiet, becomes loud, alive, unstoppable. You are no longer subject to circumstance. You are no longer passive. You are the author of destiny, the architect of achievement, the master of what was once considered impossible. Pause. Every action you take, every choice you make, every sacrifice you endure, is a testament to the fact that your dream will not die quietly. It will live. It will thrive. It will dominate the life you were meant to create. So rise, obsess, persist, refine, endure, master, and let your dream burn with such intensity that nothing in this world can ever kill it. Long pause, hold, and when they speak of greatness tomorrow, they will whisper your name. Not because luck found you, not because circumstances favored you, but because your obsession, your relentless fire, your refusal to let a dream die quietly, created a life impossible to ignore. The fire is yours. Feed it. Guard it. Burn.